Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. We're really excited today. We've gotten another one of our Hall stars to sit down and let us rank their movies with them, which is really crazy and probably scary for them, but super fun. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Bree's here.
Hello, everyone.
And today we have Wes Brown with us to rank his movies. And Wes, thank you so much for doing this and for coming on again.
You are so welcome. Can none of them be at the bottom? Is that all right? Can we do that somehow?
That's what we said off air, is that we only invite people on this weird podcast that we do where we're ranking people that we like their movies. So don't be offended what is on the bottom.
I love it. Totally teasing. Let's do it.
Yeah. So
I'd love to see what you guys have.
Yeah. So how have you been? Did you have a good holidays?
I've been really good. No, it's been really busy. Things are really starting to pick back up. Not only, life opening up again, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. We got several films this summer coming. So I'm excited about the work ahead.
That's great. Well, we're excited to see it. That's for sure.
We're excited for the work ahead.
Yes.
Work ahead. Good.
Well, I don't know if it's possible to pick, but do you have a favorite of the movies that you've done before we start our ranking?
You know what? I have favorites as far as filming them goes.
Yeah.
Just because of the people, the locations, some of the characters. Might not necessarily be my favorite movie, but that's how I've always ranked them. From my perspective, is the making of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And will you tell us what that is, or?
Well, you know what? I have one. Well, anytime the Christmas one rolls around, that's going to be it just because of the content.
Right.
But there was one of the first ones I ever did. It was called Shadow on the Mesa. And that was just an old-fashioned Western. I mean, there was no love story. We had a body count. We were riding horses, and I was getting to play a cowboy for several weeks. So that was one of my favorites to make. But I mean, it sounds cheesy and cliche, but every single one has been pretty special though. But that was one of my favorites just because of the content of the and it was good, really fun people involved, and that was one of the few that we made outside of LA, so I got to sleep in my own bed.
Oh, nice.
Very important sometimes.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. I have not seen it, but we are going to rank 9 of your Hallmark movies.
All right.
Yes. So, and I think our rankings will probably be quite different. But let's start off. Bree, why don't you give your number 9?
So the worst one is.
And I have to go first. Okay. All right. There are no bad movies here. Okay. This is just my order. Up first, we have Under the Autumn Moon.
Okay.
That's your number 9.
That's my number 9.
Why'd you have that at number 9?
I liked it. I really did like it. Like I said, there's no bad movies here, but my top 3, man, like those are the ones. So I really loved this one. I want more autumn movies. I do like this. To me, this is a classic. So, I mean, we're starting off strong here, Under the Autumn Moon.
Yeah. Well, I have that a little tiny bit higher, but my number 9 is Over the Moon in Love. And
that's in my top 3.
I think the reason why is not because I don't like you and Jessica. Of course I do, but you just didn't get to spend that much time together as a couple because you were with the other girl, Miranda Fergone, being matchmaked and stuff like that.
Oh, but I loved that storyline.
And also the fact that they didn't hire teenagers to play you guys at the beginning was not my favorite
Wes was
choice.
such a cute, nerdy teenager. They both were.
That was a tricky one. It's actually funny when I was reading it, because Jessica wrote that movie. I had just assumed they were going to hire teenagers, and then when they told us we were playing it, it was a head scratcher. I gotta tell you, but we just had fun with it,
Yeah.
The makeup and hair people, they had fun with it, so we just rolled with it, and we were just having a good time, and hopefully that came through.
Overall enjoyed it, but it was my least favorite of the 9.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay. And I liked you guys singing it, which is nice.
That was fun too.
Yeah. So controversy started already. But what do you have at number 8?
Christmas in Graceland, which is weird.
I also have at 8.
Okay.
So
because I went to high school. I lived in Memphis in high school. But nice. And I love seeing, I'm like, oh my gosh, great. I just love seeing Graceland getting love that it deserves. I mean, living there, it just felt like this beautiful building that they did nothing with. So yeah, I liked it. I want to see more come from that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's a cute film. I enjoyed it, but you didn't get to see as much of Graceland as I was hoping for. And also, it was Kelly's first movie. So, she had room for improvement, and I think she did in the second one. She was better. But overall, and they also played Silent Night 9 times. But I enjoyed it. It was cute.
Rachel.
But what was that like shooting that movie? It must have been fun.
It was a blast. And, shooting at Graceland can be very expensive. So I think everyone did their best trying to capture as much as they can. But again, that was Kelly's first movie. Our director, Eric Close, that was his directorial debut. But once again, it was a big production, a lot of good folks involved with it. And no, it was, we had a crew come out of New Orleans that made Graceland all white. So again, to see all the behind the scenes, the making of it, a very special one. It was one of the few that we actually had a big premiere for it as well. So that was a lot of fun too. And that was in Memphis. They flew us back for that. So that was definitely one at the top as far as making movies. And some of the producers that I met for the first time on that movie, I'm about to do my 4th one with them now. So it's that's kind of what I meant. It's that the movie is the movie, but what it does for me and then my experiences that are quite a bit different. So, but that one was one of my favorites to make by far.
Mm. Yeah,
by the time you're done like filming, are you like, I'm just done with the movie? Like, let's just move on.
No, but it is fun because we're done with it. We've worked on it for many, many weeks, if not, months. And it just kind of all depends. But no, once it's done, sure, we're done with the work on it. But then there's a brand new, fresh set of eyes from all of our viewers. So it kind of does a restart because we're making it. So obviously we don't see it. We can see it in dailies and stuff after a day shoot. But no, it's a lot of fun when the movie finally comes out. It's like it's fresh, it's out. So we're starting brand new again.
That's cool. It's like an all new excitement. Like, okay, now I'm excited all over again.
You're back to the starting gate, and it's a great thing.
Do you ever get Christmased out doing all these Christmas movies?
No.
By the time
I don't. No, I really don't. I love it. I'm actually working on another little Christmas EP right now. So no, Christmas is probably my favorite time of year. So the fact I get to make it part of my career is just a huge blessing. So no, I do not get burnt out on.
Yay.
Good. That's what we like to hear. Yeah. And it must have been fun working with Kelly. She seems like a super sweet person.
Oh, she's super sweet. She's super fun to hang out with outside of work. We had a blast. Her husband came down. We had a few like jam night sessions in the hotel. So no, she's great. We had a lot of fun working together. She's a lot of fun.
Did you stay there at that hotel at Graceland?
Yeah. I did. I practically lived there for a while.
Wow.
So, but yeah, they did. They had us up. They had us up at Graceland. I will tell you something that I took away from it. I could not believe just the sheer amount of people that come through Graceland. I mean, from all over the world. Like it's just packed nonstop. You think Elvis was famous and huge, but then you see all these people that are coming into Graceland from all over. You're like, God, he's actually bigger than I thought he was. And I knew he was huge, but then it's the stamp of approval about what he did for people all over the world. And by the way, this many decades later, still, it's just, I mean, the hotel's enormous for a reason, put it that way.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think that would be fun.
You live in Memphis, so you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been to Graceland, Bree?
I've went, and Back when we would go, like, it was closed. That's why I'm like, I'm loving that Hallmark has been using it, because for the longest it just felt like they weren't really using it for much. So I'm like, I'm loving that it's kind of coming alive again, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Well, my number 7 is Under the Autumn Moon. So I just had a hair higher than Bree. Yeah, this one's fun. I particularly liked all the stuff with the cooking, the baking, and everything. All those scenes, those were really fun. The plot with this sort of save the hotel, kind of save the. It's not my favorite plot, but I like you and I like Lindy. She's the best. And there were some fun scenes, like when you were lassoing and you lassoed her. That was fun. And when she gets covered with the hay. And so there was fun. But yeah, then number 7. So what was that movie like to make?
That one, actually, to be honest with you, that one I got very, very late. I actually flew straight from Christmas at Graceland, straight from Memphis to Winnipeg. And I got there, and I think they were already on day 4 of shooting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got there super late. But that was a lot of fun. I love Lindy. That she was awesome to work with. My first time to Winnipeg. Got to stay in a beautiful hotel up there and really get to see the city. And yeah, it's just another really great fun group of people to work with.
Mm-hmm. Was that fun?
Yep.
Fun kind of pretending to be a cowboy?
Oh, yeah. That never gets old. You can do a Christmas cowboy one. That's, combine the two. That'd be even better.
Yes. I think so. Very cool. Yeah, it's a fun one. We really like the fall movies. Mm-hmm. And they've been kind of, last year they didn't have much choice, but we only got 2 real, fall movies. And so I don't know. It's nice when we get a full slate of fall movies.
Yeah.
So
well, last year was a little bit tricky. So
yeah,
we'll set everything right this year.
Hopefully. Bree, what's your number 7?
Mine was June and January. Where does yours fall for this?
For June and January? You'll have to see.
Yeah,
it's much higher up.
We're getting closer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was June and January. So what was making this one like?
That one was a minute ago, huh? That one, well, it was with Brooke Dorsey, she's been one of my favorites to make. We shot that up in Vancouver, which is one of my favorite cities to go to. That one was another really fun one, shooting in pretty rural, about an hour and a half outside Vancouver. But I've always loved working with Brooke. Her and I have become good friends after that. So, yeah, another one, a lot of fun. I have fun with all of these. So,
yeah, that one has our gal Mary Lou Henner, who we love. She's the best. Yeah. So that must have been fun to work with that cast.
Yeah, that was another great group of producers, and that one was a minute ago though. Mm-hmm. That one was a long time ago. We shot that on a beautiful farm. I'm trying to think of the name of the little town, but yeah, it was about an hour outside of Vancouver. But that one was and Brooke's
that
great.
Was your first, right, for Hallmark?
That was one of the first ones. I can't. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was one of them though. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's your number 6?
We'd like to take a second from this episode of the podcast to celebrate our sponsor of this episode, and that is the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast?
Do you want an inside scoop into what happens on the podcast?
Do you want early access to episodes and loads of cool perks?
Now is the time to become a patron of Hallmarkies podcast.
By becoming a patron, you get to access our patron Facebook group.
You can request episodes or even be a guest on the podcast.
And most importantly, any patron can join our monthly movie watch-alongs with stars like Paul Campbell, Natalie Hall, and more.
It's as low as $2 a month to join in and become a special part of the Hallmarkies family.
Please consider, and we will love you forever.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Christmas cookies.
Ah.
Which was tough. But here we are. I loved it. So, I mean, tell us all the details. What did you enjoy most about making this movie?
This one was fun. I love working with Jill Wagner. She's really great. This one, the cookie factory was actually a giant blueberry farm, once again, outside of Vancouver. So we had some great prop guys turning this blueberry farm into a cookie factory.
Yeah.
But that one was one of my first Christmas movies. So that was one of the first ones that, we really got to, use the beauty of Canada for all these outdoor shots with the sledding scenes and stuff like that. So that was one of my first experiences with doing that. And it was with, like I said, Jill. So that one was super fun to make.
Yeah, Jill was very complimentary of you when we interviewed her, and we talked about this movie because I guess she was going through a tough time at the time, and she just said that you were the best.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was. But man, all that has really gone well for her. She got a family, and she's doing great right now. I'm really happy for her. I think she's doing the mystery series right now as we speak up in Canada.
Yeah. So, mystery. She's doing Mystery 101.
Yeah, Mystery 101.
Right now. So, Would you ever want to do a mystery?
Yeah, can we get you in a mystery?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's get the pitching going.
Yeah. I think so. I think that would be good. You and Rachel Boston.
I would love to do that.
That would be great.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We'd have to pry her away from Hawaii, but if we can do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, what hasn't been done in the mysteries? Trying to think what
Let's
career.
Get Wes as a cowboy, a old Texas Ranger type.
Cowboy capers.
Right? And then the female lead will be I don't know, something cool like an historian or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something different.
Frontier mysteries.
I'm so hooked on the mysteries right now. I want something. Something.
Well, my number 6 is Wedding at Graceland, which I liked.
That's next for me. Okay.
Yeah, I liked this one better than the Christmas one. I think that it was a really nice wedding, and I'm not normally a huge fan of wedding movies when it comes to Hallmark, but this one was very sweet and very well done, and they didn't keep these sort of shenanigans. They weren't too, sometimes they can get a little mean-spirited with the bridezilla and that kind of a thing, but not in this one. This one was very sweet and just sort of the infighting between the in-laws, but it wasn't too much. Mm-hmm. And it was beautiful and a gorgeous wedding. So that's why it's at 6.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about that one, Bree?
Yeah, same. I mean, I like the wedding movies though. It's been a couple that I'm okay, this is a little much, but yeah, it was beautiful, and I loved returning to Graceland, and it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hallmark doesn't do too many sequels, so this one was to get a sequel is obviously it's a big compliment, and then we get back with the same group of folks again. So we're basically just turning Christmas, and then we get to go to Graceland a different time of year, completely different setting to see all of the wedding venues. Then I got to pretend marry Kelly Pickler. So once again had a super fun time. Driving that car around was my favorite in it. Remember that pink Cadillac?
Yeah.
And then we got to shooting at the Gaylord Hotel and all these beautiful spots in Memphis. We really got to open up that. Actually, I'm so glad we got to do that movie on a personal level. Is that we were shooting the Graceland movies, we didn't venture out much into Memphis. We kind of stayed in one little area. In Wedding at Graceland, I really got to see Memphis and see what a great town it is. Got to go downtown finally. We got to shoot downtown. So really opened my eyes to a lot of really cool parts of Memphis that I may not have ever gotten to see that if not for this movie. So that was one of the many, many, many pluses for this sequel.
Well, and it must have been amazing to see them like stage this wedding. I mean, I always feel like they should just offer it for free after they're finished, like couples that want it for, like as a prize or something.
Yeah, you'll have to
it
see
just seems a shame for.
It's in the backside of Graceland. It's a beautiful little place. It's got a great all glass backdrop. It's really nice. It's really nice.
It seems a shame for nobody to actually like get married. When they put on all this, they go to all that work.
Well, someone did.
Oh, they did?
Yes. So
I didn't know that.
So yeah, we had two of our crew members. They were engaged, and right after Kelly and I got fake married, they got real married, and we all got to be there for that. And so that was really cool. That was special.
That is cool. I'm glad to hear that. Very good. All right. Well, my number 5 is Nashville Christmas Carol. And I enjoyed this. I love Christmas Carol, but this was definitely the nicest version of Christmas Carol I've ever seen. I mean, Scrooge, people were literally begging to work with the Scrooge character in this movie. I've never seen that before, but I still really thought it was fun. I loved all the country stars, super fun. And I love Jessie. I think she's great. And I think you two have great chemistry. You should do more movies. And I mean, I liked that they went back to some childhood trauma for her. I thought that was a little darker than that was there. It was kind of the darker part of it. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And you have a
well,
very
mine is
high,
Love
evidently.
Under the Stars. Mine is Love Under the Stars.
Oh, you're nice. So yeah, Nashville Christmas Carol. This was shot in like peak COVID, right? The Nashville Christmas Carol.
Yes. So this was this was when we were all just very fortunate to have a job ahead of us, and then not only that, but this was a big one. This was a big one of their bigger budgeted movies. We had a giant company move. We shot most of the movie in Charlotte, and then we did a big company move to Nashville. But yes, had a great time on this one. With that said, it was definitely different. All the COVID protocols. I probably got tested 31 times, I think.
Wow.
Didn't really get to go out and see Charlotte. We didn't do a lot of hanging out together. That was very minimal. So although we had a blast making the movie, it was definitely different. Which I'm hoping that's definitely getting behind us now. But all in all, I mean, yes, what with Kix Brooks, and who was one of my idols growing up. I mean, I loved Brooks and Dunn. That was just a big old cast, man, and it was awesome to have all those all that talent there, from the music world and Nashville world. So, but a definitely fun one to make. Jessie was great. Our director, Dawn Wilkinson, she was fantastic. She had a Netflix series going, so she brought in all this new green screen work that was super cool and fun with the magical elements. So it was definitely different in many, many ways, but it was a great one.
Now, did you get to actually meet any of the stars because they were in most of the scenes with Jessie?
Oh yeah. No,
okay.
we were all there together. So. Yeah, I actually my highlight was my company move. I got to ride with Kix Brooks on his bus from Charlotte to Nashville. So that was fun.
Oh, nice.
And we hung out with him, went fishing and riding 4-wheelers and went to his winery. And, we all got to hang out a lot.
That's great.
Safely hang out.
Jealous.
That's amazing to hear stars that we see, talk about someone that they've idolized and like that they still view as stars, and here you are, co-workers at the time, basically.
For sure.
And that excitement of meeting someone that you admire, I think that's amazing to hear.
I know, and it's even better when you meet them and they're exactly who you hoped they would be. Like Kix couldn't be a nicer guy. He and I are buddies now. We keep in touch all the time. He gave me a bunch of golf clubs and stuff. We went and played golf one day. So no, that was icing on the cake for me.
Nice. Very good. All right, Bree, what's your number 4?
Nashville Christmas Carol.
Oh, so number 4 for you was Nashville Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. Well, my number 4 is Christmas Cookies.
Okay.
And this is just classic Hallmark movie. It's classic. You got
I actually think this was my first Jill Wagner movie.
I think it was her first movie.
Her.
If
Okay.
I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean the lady from the city coming into the small town to the cookie company, telling them how to run things. And of course, she ends up falling for the guy and realizes how great the cookie company is. And it's just classic. It's exactly what I like. So, and I love Jill. And I love Wes. And it's what more could you want in a movie?
The best compliment I got from that movie was a friend of mine who lives in Texas called me and I said, "Hey, what'd you think?" He goes, "I am so angry that town is fictional."
Yeah, that's usually it.
And something went right. If you feel that strongly that town really does not exist, then I'll take that as a big, big compliment. So he said, I am. He goes, "I'm really bummed that I can't fly there."
You're like, going to the blueberry farm is not the same.
Yes. So I was like, well, that's a great crew right there. So
yeah. Did you have to eat a lot of cookies?
You definitely can if you choose to. It gets.
I think Jill said she ate a lot of cookies.
Jill did. Jill did. If she said she didn't, she's lying. She did.
Yeah, she did.
And I was like, you do know you don't have to consume them. Honestly, when you're shooting, if you're actually eating the cookies, well, you're doing multiple takes. They have to make sure that everything's matching from take to take, so you have to replenish and stuff. So it's actually a little bit easier if you don't. But definitely on close-ups and stuff, you know that they're going to take. It's like, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And she did.
Well, she admitted she fessed up to it. So yeah, it's a fun little Christmas movie. All right.
That was a really fun one to make.
So what is your number 3, Bree?
Number 3, I have Check Into Christmas.
Yes.
I loved the whole family.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Very nice.
Yes. This one is really fun. I loved the whole kind of Romeo and Juliet for Christmas fun movies.
Yep.
It was good.
One of my favorites about that, it was working with Richard Karn, who was already a friend of mine, and I didn't even know he was in the movie until I got my pickup sheet, and it had that I was being picked up with actor Richard Karn, and I texted him. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were doing this movie." And so he's always a pleasure to hang out with. Really sweet guy, great actor, just great guy all around. So I had a blast working with him again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's coming up on my list. My number 3 is June and January. I think it's a pretty classic wedding movie, and I think that Brooke is great. And she takes a character that might be kind of unlikable because she's so likable and sweet that you like her. And I love Mary Lou Henner. She's the best. And so her being in it is a plus. And I think if you're going to watch, if I was trying to decide what Hallmark wedding movie am I going to watch, this one would be definitely top 5 for sure.
Awesome.
So
awesome. Good to know.
Yeah. So, all right, Bree, what's your number 2?
Over the Moon in Love.
I
love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Gosh,
that one is so good. I don't know, the whole matchmaking element and like I'm telling you what to say in the ear, all of that. I loved it.
Definitely has that Cyrano Bergerac kind of quality to it. Yeah, I guess for me, I just wanted more time with the two of you together so we could get that chemistry really going. And yeah, the teenager part, it took a hit. But Other than that, I did enjoy the overall story. It was fun.
Yeah.
I loved the teenager part, Rachel.
You know what? I think when you do stuff like that, you're going to have some people that find it cute and funny and fun, and other people might find it you shouldn't want with teenagers. So it's like making movies is definitely an art, not a science. But that's what she wanted, and she being Jessica, because this was her baby. You know, she wrote it, produced it, starred in it. She wrote the music for it. So that was my compliment to her. I was like, if you liked it, and you had her to thank for it, because she did it all. She did everything. So, and that's not easy to do. That's not easy to do at all. If it was simple, we would all do it, but it's not. So,
for sure,
kudos to her. But we definitely had fun trying to, make it work.
Yeah.
And aesthetically, the movie was gorgeous. I mean, the scenery, everything about it was so pretty to look at too. It's a happy movie to me. I don't know, guys. Don't judge me.
It's definitely a happy movie. It was total fun one to make.
So my number 2 is Love Under the Stars. I had not seen it until getting prepared for this ranking. I'd never seen it. And so I watched it, and I was totally charmed by this movie. I really thought it was well written. The script, I thought the character development was really well done. That, she's going to graduate school, and she's trying to kind of deal with her own heartache with her mother, and then the kind of growth of his character and his dealing with his grief. And Jada Lily, oh my gosh, was so sweet in this movie. She was so cute.
Yeah, my daughter and her definitely bonded off screen during that.
Oh, really?
They went swimming a lot in the hotel, and that one was on a beautiful place. We shot that on Vancouver Island, and if you ever get the chance to go there, go. It's absolutely gorgeous. City of Victoria is where we were. It was just beautiful, beautiful place to shoot. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then Barry Bostwick as her dad. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I love Barry.
Yeah.
I have a pair of shoes signed to Wes from a very famous TV star, Barry Bostwick. Or something like that. But yeah, he's a great guy.
I would say this is a hidden gem. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. It didn't overdo it on the emotion. It had just kind of the right amount. You have a pretty early kiss in this movie, which is always fun. And I don't know, I was like, wow, why don't people talk about this as one of the better Hallmark movies? Because I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And when did this one come out?
2015.
So that's kind of, because I feel like now we're starting to get like the mid-film kiss, right? Like that was a big deal for us this last year. So that's kind of a game changer early on in the game before it became a thing with our Hallmark movies.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, and I found that some of those earlier movies took like just a hair more risk than they were for a while. With kind of the emotion and with, just some of the other things like Trading Christmas and Annie Claus and, just some of those like early Naughty or Nice, those 2014, 2015 movies, I think took a little more risk than sometimes they did the last couple of years. So it's sort of refreshing to watch them and be like, oh, wow. So I thought I really enjoyed it. So.
Yeah, and I will say they're changing again. I'm leaving in 2 weeks for one that will be shooting up in Salt Lake City, and there's a lot of changes at the network right now. And right now they're a lot of the notes we're getting, they're not typical notes. Where we're up in the comedy right now. I could say we have Christine Coe from Dave. She's going to be on this next one, and she's a brilliant comedic actress. So this one's going to be a lot of fun, I'm thinking. So that's all I'm going to say about it, but we're going to see what Hallmark has in store, because yes, lots of new development and movie changes. So it's going to be fun to see.
Well, if you need any dinner recommendations, let me know, because I'm from near Salt Lake.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Do you have a dream like filming location? Like somewhere you haven't been yet that you would love to go?
Well, we have an ongoing, my pause is for, I was going to say, we have an ongoing joke, but it's not really a joke. I want to go shoot movies in Hawaii. Hawaii is one of my favorite places on earth, and they shoot a lot of stuff there. And I definitely joke with one of our executives that she keeps sending me to Tennessee and North Carolina, and I was like, Hawaii. I don't want to go back to Tennessee. Obviously, I'm joking, but no, Hawaii is definitely one of the places I would love to film. Anywhere in Europe, would be great. And one of my favorite places that I have filmed is definitely New York City, and I would love to go back and film something in New York, which hopefully will happen soon. But yeah, and by the way, Utah is a beautiful place we shot Check Into Christmas in Utah.
Oh, that's Utah. Right. Nice. Yeah, it's a fun place to live. I enjoy it. So
for sure.
Yeah. Very good. All right, so we're at our number ones. This is very exciting.
All right, number one.
Drum roll. What's yours? Go ahead.
Mine is Check Into Christmas. Is my favorite. I really enjoyed it. I thought that
it was shot in Utah.
I know. I mean, of course.
That's home field advantage for you. That's not fair.
That's true. But I thought that you and Rachel had really good chemistry. I thought it really worked. And I liked the fact that you kind of were sneaking around behind their family's back and everything like that. It was really cute. And like had a pretty early kiss in that one. And I liked also I think it was either your brother or her brother, like the secondary relationship was really cute. It was funny.
Yeah. Yes.
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And her grandma, that was good. Yeah. That was funny. I don't know. It was just a really charming Christmas movie. It was in my top 3 that year for Countdown to Christmas. So.
Well, I appreciate that being your number one. That was a really fun one to make. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. It was good. It was charming.
I like throwing snowballs out a window anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime to hit Rachel Boston in the face with a snowball, done. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I was like, my top picks here in each one, Wes is like the guy that it's always been him, and they have to like figure out like it's always been Wes. And I'm like, this is why he's my top. It's my favorite romance trope, I think.
Yeah, Friends to Lovers is always fun. But this added like an element of competition, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
And enjoyable. So Bree, what is your number one?
So I think where I got mixed up is Love Under the Stars would have been my 4. So then it was A Nashville Christmas Carol, Check Into Christmas, and then Over the Moon in Love was my number 1.
Oh, it was your number 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So Over the Moon in Love is my fave.
Well,
it's the top.
Thank you, Miss Jessica Lowndes. There you go.
Yeah. Number 1. 9-1.
Have you ever thought, are you ever going to write and all of that?
Yes, I'm hoping to write to direct this movie that we're about to go. This is my wife's story. So this is her story. She didn't write the screenplay, but she wrote the story. It was picked up by Hallmark, and now it's definitely changed a little bit. But so no, we're definitely going to go down that avenue soon.
Awesome,
that's great.
So, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let you know more when I know more.
Yeah, make us first in line.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't go over to Deck the Hallmark. Stick here.
There you go.
Just kidding. Okay, so let's go over our list real quick. So I have Over the Moon in Love at 9. I have Christmas at Graceland at 8. I have Under the Autumn Moon at 7. Wedding at Graceland at 6. I have A Nashville Christmas Carol at 5. Christmas Cookies at 4. June and January at 3. Love Under the Stars at 2, and Check Into Christmas at 1.
Okay. I have at 9, Under the Autumn Moon. Christmas in Graceland is 8. June in January is 7. Christmas Cookies is 6. Wedding at Graceland is 5. Love Under the Stars is 4. And Nashville Christmas Carol is number 3. Check Into Christmas is number 2. And Over the Moon in Love is number 1.
Very good. What do you think, Wes, of our lists?
I think you guys nailed it, and I appreciate all the thought that went into it because I mean they all have their places. They were all a blast to make, and I'm just glad that you guys for all different reasons you love them for and then you be critical of them sometimes. I was like, I love that. I love opinionated people that we can learn from, and then hopefully moving forward, just try to make the best movies we can.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming on and talk with us, and we appreciate all your movies, and we're looking forward to the new one. That'll be awesome.
I will come on anytime you guys want me to, and thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, do you have social media that you want to share?
The only social media I have is Instagram. Right now, it's Wes Brown 225. I'm trying to change that, but that's what it is right now.
Correct. And Bree, where can people find you?
I am at Falling for Romance on Instagram.
All right.
You can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. And make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave us your ratings and reviews. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. We have our Patreon and merch links down below. Check that out. Thanks again, Wes. This is so much fun. And yeah, we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.